Hi guys, so I decided it'd been a while since we've done a battle of the blenders. So I was in H&M and I picked up their Ultra Precision Sponge. This guy is £2.99 compared to the £16 Beauty Blender. So it's slightly less squishy. It's got this weird ridge in the middle. It's not bright pink, which to be honest, I don't mind. I'm always slightly disturbed when I get a new beauty blender and I wash it for the first time and the pink dye comes out. But I've done my makeup using both of these today, and let's see how that went. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do a very attractive thing with my hair. Not a hairstyle video. Whee! But I'm just going to get it out of the way, and this seems to leave the least kind of impact on that. So, usual foundation, Primark Perfect Colour. I'm going to do one pump. I feel like this isn't going to hold water quite as well as the Beauty Blender, so I'm going to go in with it first. And let's see how far one pump gets us with this guy. So I'm not quite sure what the ridge around the middle is for, although I'm quite liking it as a gripping point. So maybe that's all it's for. Who knows? But I was thinking, you know, it's been a while since I've done one of these, so maybe I'll find something else fabulous. So, okay, so that one pump has done, let's say, a third of my face, because I still need to do my forehead. So, and I want a little bit more coverage on my nose, so let's do one more pump. And hopefully that will do this. Now this is quite squishy. It's not as soft as the Beauty Blender by any means. It took a little bit more work to get the kind of water into it. But I would say the coverage from it is really nice. And it's squishy enough to get into the nooks and crannies that you want your foundation to get into. So yeah, I would say I'm happy with how that's applied my makeup. So let's see, we've got a tiny smudge of the foundation left, but I'll just put out another 2 pumps, although the second one was a bit of a half pump there, with the Beauty Blender. I'm going to be honest, I've been using the Beauty Blender and the Pound Shop Beauty Blender lately because I keep forgetting to clean my foundation brushes. And yes, I know I have to remember to clean these, but at least I can use these without waiting for them to dry, so I can clean them last minute. So one day I will have my life together and my brushes will always be meticulously clean, but that day is not today. Or any other point this week. So I've actually ran out, so the Beauty Blender does seem to absorb just a bit more product than the H&M sponge. Let's zoom in. Oops, wrong direction. So you guys can see it side by side with roughly the same amount of product. So my forehead, I would prefer to have a bit more coverage. Same for kind of around my nose. Definitely for the chin. Just out of interest. Maybe slightly better coverage out of that one actually. Okay, maybe this is a genuine competitor against the Beauty Blender. Dun dun dun! So I'm going to go in with my under eye corrector. I've kind of been hit or miss whether I've been using this, because I think most days it looks fine without it, but I want to try blending as many products as possible with these 2 sponges, so we're going to go in. So pointy end is not quite as pointy, I would say, but it actually fits in this gap really nicely, so I don't mind. I can almost be blending between here and here all in one go, which is, you know, if you're in a rush, is fine. Like, without moving that sponge other than up and down, look how far across I'm starting blending. So That's nifty. That's not the side I'm meant to be using that sponge on though. Oops. Okay. My bad. So concealer wise, we're going to go in with the Urban Decay 24/7. I really need to start using concealers up. I've still got that Pixie one sitting half empty. I've got Colourpop one sitting half empty. I've got the Makeup Revolution one sitting about. I've got my Kevin Aquan one sitting about. Maybe that should be my new month resolution, even though we're like a quarter of the way through the month already. God, we're more than that, aren't we? Never mind. So this is a very, very thick concealer, and I usually find what I dab under my eyes is coming down my cheeks as well, and the side of my nose. So going across to the Beauty Blender side. I have to say, while the Beauty Blender absorbs more foundation, I don't think it absorbs quite as much of the concealer. I think it's the thicker consistency. But I feel like I had an easier time blending with the H&M one there actually, which is interesting. So then my usual little corners of the nose, just to see how good we are at detail work. So I'm going to have to get in and squish that one properly. And then the Beauty Blender, because it's that little bit pointier and a little bit squishier, does a lot more of that for itself, but I still end up going in and squishing it just to finish it off, so I'm not really going to hold that against the H&M one since I need to do it anyway. So forehead, to be honest, I'm just giving a general assistance everywhere. So okay, so that's done an absolutely fine job. I would say now that we're in with the concealer, the coverage is looking quite even between the two because, well, let's face it, this concealer covers around about anything and everything that you could possibly throw at it. So I've got a couple of little areas that I want some more help with. I say a couple. It's been a stressful couple of weeks, guys. And my skin is demonstrating that for me. Does anybody else ever just forget to cover that part of their nose with anything, concealer, foundation? I think it's one of those areas that I just kind of miss out and then it looks really weird. So I've remembered. I probably should have worked in smaller areas with this concealer actually. Yay! There you go. And yeah, that sponge is definitely feeling drier than the Beauty Blender, even though I washed the Beauty Blender before I was wetting that sponge. So there is that to bear in mind. So if you kind of like the wetness of the Beauty Blender shearing out your makeup, then maybe the H&M one isn't going to be for you. But, you know, personal preference, isn't it? So powder wise, these days I'm actually using the Makeup Revolution baking powder. Now I know Tati had a video where she hated this product, but she bought the Halloween version. She bought the shade Ghost and then was unhappy when it was very pale. So yeah. So I'm just gonna pick some of that up with the H&M one, and that doesn't really seem to be transferring at all, which, you know, I kind of thought I would get more powder transfer with this one than with the Beauty Blender because of the fact that it's not stayed as wet. That's strange. Okay. It always looks really dodgy when you put bake on that area. So Right, and yeah, I would say done an okay job. It's not applied quite as much, but you can just build it up. So I'm going to go and finish the rest of my makeup, and we'll come back and do a final summary on the two of these. Okay, so as you can see, this is a very good makeup sponge. I'm quite happy with this. I will definitely be using it until it's knackered. Is it going to be my be-all replacement? Probably not. Believe it or not, I think I still love the Pound Shot one more than this, purely because it stays damp for longer. So if you've got it in your bag as you're going about the day, it's better for doing touch-ups. But overall, if you were short of a makeup sponge and you were in H&M and you saw this, I would definitely give it a shot. It is a good product. So if you've got any questions about either of these, leave them down below and I will get back to you. And very exciting, I think we're only about 19 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully there will be a giveaway coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys later. Bye.